So this demo, I'm going to try to talk through it. I even slowed it down a little bit so I can talk a little bit better. So this is going to showcase our buyer portal in addition to the integration with Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. So as I'm arriving on this website that we created for Directions North America, I've now arrived in the buyer portal. So this is where you can see, now in this particular case, different shopping lists, or maybe known as requisition lists. On the right-hand side, you can see you can quickly add products by SKU, bulk upload CSV, or just select the products from the list, add those into your cart or quote. Now once you've decided, is it cart, is it quote, I can either request a quote, or in this case, I can go to my cart, and then I can enter the checkout. So once I get to checkout, it's going to remember my login. I'm going to have saved shipping and billing address that are associated with that company in Dynamics Business Central. And in this case, I'm going to pay for this order using the PayFabric e-check. So I'm going to put in my account number, my routing number, and my name, and then I'll place that order. Once that order is placed, PayFabric issues a transaction ID. Guess what? We can look up that transaction ID inside of Business Central on the sales order, right? So now we're going to go inside Dynamics Business Central, and we're going to click into the wonderful xpr365 BigCommerce connector. Now this was built by Alex and Frank here. It's going to connect to the BigCommerce store. As you can see, you've got many different things to manage with the B2B information, the store information, but in here you can see the orders. Now I think they have it on a schedule for every minute, so for this demo I just did a quick manual import. Now you can see that order 114, that was from the web, right? So now that I've clicked into order 114, I can see the line items that are in there, who the company was, contact information, and I'm going to click into the sales order. Now inside the sales order, what I'm going to be able to do is I can go and click on the PayFabric module, retrieve the transaction. In this case, I manually pasted it in, but this could be automated very easily. I know that Yowen can automate that. So we've now linked this transaction inside the order so that I can see, okay, this was this order was paid, so I'll go ahead and ship it, right? So now this is a real-time integration. So you can see once I come back up here and refresh, it's showing the status is shipped, and there's a shipment that'll have the tracking information inside of it. And then I can go and track my order. I'm on my way. Now the next workflow here is going back into the account. And in this case, it would be maybe like a sales rep inside Dynamics created a quote. They wanted to sync that quote into buyer portal, or maybe they're working in Salesforce or HubSpot, or maybe they built the quote directly inside of our B2B product. It does have a user interface for that. And then now as an end user, I can see here's the quote. I got a nice discount. Now I'm going to go convert this into an order. This time, instead of paying at the time that the order is placed, I'm going to check out on terms, right? So instead of using the PayFabric check or credit card, I'm going to use the pay on account payment method. I'm going to put in a purchase order number, and I'm going to go ahead and place this order. So this is very common. A lot of businesses, of course, offer their own terms. We also work with companies that do financing like Resolve or Balance, where you can sort of automate those credit approvals and net terms if companies don't want to take on that risk, maybe small business buyers, things like that. But now that we see we have the order inside of Dynamics, it's going to import it again. I'm going to go and ship and invoice, right? So because I trust this customer, I'm going to go ahead and ship it with the invoice even though they haven't paid me yet, right? And then once I go and generate the invoice, it will show up, of course, inside the buyer portal where I can then pay using PayFabric. Or whichever gateway, of course. If Fawaz is pissing me off, I'll put in some other one. But in this case, we're going to process the payment using PayFabric, and it's going to reconcile that invoice payment back into Dynamics Business Central. But here you can see this is the invoice. It was generated inside of Dynamics Business Central. So BigCommerce, we're not the source of truth. We're not a financial system of record, but we do have an invoice portal. Now, this invoice portal is very useful for connecting to financial systems of record. So as you can see, the invoice number here, 103221, is now just right there, $14,000. I can go and select that invoice, and I'll go ahead and make the payment. Now, once this payment is made, again, we'll show how it reconciles back into the ledger inside of Microsoft Dynamics, and that will close out the sort of quote to order, net terms, invoice, payment, right? So that's quite a bit of stuff there, but ultimately, we want to meet our customers where their customers are. So how their customers want to buy, they want to prepay, they want to pay on terms. So you can see in here, this is our B2B edition. So this is our management panel that shows different B2B companies, quotes, invoices, all those objects here that you can see XPR has integrated with on the B2B side. So I've just imported now that payment record. Inside that payment record, it'll show the information. So the credit card payment that was run through PayFabric. PayFabric can run their reconciliation process as well. So that's pretty much the demo that we had. So this is with BigCommerce, Dynamics Business Central, xpr365, and PayFabric.